when really you have to have a change of lifestyle. Okay? So now that we know Esau's in rulership, let's get some precepts from the judges, man. So this is Amos 1 and 11. It says, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, right? And Edom is today known as the so-called white people. You are the Edomites of the Bible, okay? So it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, right? So the Heavenly Father saying he's got a punishment for all you Edomites, right? That's why you got 2020 being such a crazy year, man. But the Most High is about to manifest his judgment, right? It says, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, right? Who's his brother? Jacob's his brother, right? And the descendants of Jacob, as they're known today, are so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and all those that are scattered all over the earth. We're the brother of Esau, Edom, right? And he cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and kept his wrath forever, right? So he didn't let up. He kept pursuing his brother, right? But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the places of Bozrah, right? And I want to get into that, but I want to get more on Esau's witness. So it's the book of Ezekiel. Actually, Spirit had me open on this, so I'm going to read this now quickly. It's Ezekiel 21 and 9, alright? This is why 2020 is such a crazy year. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. Say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and it is furbished for to give it into the hand of the slayer. Cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people, alright? It shall be upon all the princes of Israel, right? And Israel is known as you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Alright? This sword is gonna come to you. And that sword, I've been talking about Esau getting his sword, but before he gets his sword, you need to get your sword, right? And that's Esau is actually the sword that the Most High is gonna put upon you to put hell upon you, right? That's why we're entering a time of Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. So let me quickly get a precept before I finish it off. Actually, I'll read it first and I'll go to that. It says, terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh, because it is a trial. And what if the sword contemneth even a rod? It shall not be no more, saith the Lord power. Okay? So let me show you that Esau is that sword. So it's the book of Psalms, 17th chapter, and right, 13 and 14, right? So this is King David speaking, all right? A prayer from King David. It says, arise, O Lord Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, right? We already broke down who the wicked is, so they're the sword of the Heavenly Father, all right, in this time. But guess what? They got a sword coming for them. So this is the book of Ezekiel 25 and the 12th verse. It reads, "Thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and has greatly offended and revenged himself upon them." Right? Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom and will cut off man and beast from it. Right? So even the beasts of Edom are gonna get chastised as well, man. Right? So it says, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom, right, by the hand of my people Israel. So you even have Israel get busy as well, right? That's how the judgment's going to take place, by the Lord putting the spirit on these men and then putting hands on Edom, on Esau, all right? So it says, and they shall do according to mine anger. And that lets you know, that shows you that, hey, we can't comprehend the level of the Heavenly Father's power. We understand according to the scriptures. It tells you, be angry and sin not. Right? So we ain't gonna rise up and do no foolishness now. We ain't gonna do no form of terrorism or no foolishness like that. Right? Because then we know, as it tells you in the book of Acts, the 5th chapter, Gamaliel, when he took the helm in the midst of the Sanhedrin, he basically said, look, he gave out various examples of men that tried to rise up against the Roman Empire and how they always ended up falling, all right? But he said, look, if this be of the Most High power, there's nothing you can do to stop it, all right? But the fact that the rulers are in place as they are at the moment, that's part of the Heavenly Father's plan, all right? Let me back that up as well. The book of Job. So it's the book of Job 14 and 5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Right, so the Most High is basically appointing the bounds whereby this man can't proceed past his time of rulership, right? And we're in the time of the end, right? We are in the time of the end. So this is the book of Revelations, the 12th chapter and the 12th verse. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, right? So anyone that's on the earth right now, and even in the sea, is telling you that woe, okay? And the word woe basically means destruction, all right? So I'll read it again. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time, right? So he knows the time is short. And the reason why he knows the time is short is because he has reminders to show him that he's got a race against time, okay? The main reminder being the fact that he's seeing the chariots of Israel, okay? The chariots of Israel is what your government would call UAPs, all right? or UFOs, right? Unidentified flying objects. They're actually the chariots, the vehicles of the angels that the Bible speaks of. That's how the angels translate from one um, dimension into another, by basically utilizing the vehicles known as UFOs, right? Which are, according to the Bible, known as chariots of Israel. Okay, so let me get into that and show you about the chariots of Israel. Because even as soon as we went into lockdown, you had the American government come out and say that they've been having dealings with UFOs for many years, man. They came out and made it known that UFOs are real, right? And it's funny because, hey, this year is just basically the great flooding of information, right? Might have to make a move in a second, man.